the bride is asked whether she loves the groom and accepts him without being forced. Then, if the bride agrees with the groom and loves him, she stands up, dances in signature style, and then comes to the groom, asking him to stand and dance along with her. This is a sign that she loves the groom and wants to marry him without being forced. The groom has a shield and spear in his hand and wears animal skin on this special day. After this, all the men and women dance along, where women say, "Oh my love, oh my love." And the men reply, "Yes, my virgin woman. Yes, my virgin woman." That's one of the many steps in the traditional African Zulu wedding, where people gather and participate in this joyous event. So how a Zulu traditional wedding is done, and how it's rich in customs and traditions. Welcome to a new episode of Black Afric Diary, a channel where we talk about Black African history, culture, arts, and civilization. It's a place where you will see the real picture of Black Africa, its stories, and the events defining it. In this episode, we will tell you about the amazing African traditional Zulu wedding and the customs involved in it. Let's get started. The Zulu people are one of the largest ethnic groups in South Africa, celebrated for their rich cultural heritage and significant history. While they primarily live in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, their influence and presence extend throughout the country and beyond. Historically, the Zulu nation was formed in the early 19th century under King Shaka Zulu. Shaka's military innovations and strategic skills greatly expanded the Zulu kingdom's territory and power, creating a centralized and formidable state. The Zulu people have a vibrant culture marked by elaborate rituals, traditional music, dance, and art. Their social structure is clan-based, with each clan tracing its lineage to a common ancestor. isiZulu, the Zulu language, is part of the Bantu language family and one of South Africa's 11 official languages spoken by millions. Zulu traditional attire is distinctive and often elaborate, especially during ceremonies and celebrations. Women wear colorful beaded necklaces, bracelets, and headpieces, while men don animal skin garments and carry shields and spears. And these elements become the center of attention during the Zulu wedding. The journey towards marriage traditionally begins with the courtship phase, which is a crucial period where the couple gets to know each other deeply. This phase is not just about romance, but also about understanding each other's values, family background, and life goals. In many cultures, this stage involves families coming together, often facilitated by traditional matchmakers who help bridge the gap between the two families. These matchmakers, who are typically respected community elders or relatives, play a significant role in ensuring that the courtship process respects cultural norms and is conducive to a strong union. Once the couple feels confident about their relationship and the compatibility between them, they move towards the proposal stage. Traditionally, the proposal is carried out by the man, who might either approach the woman directly, or in some cases, use family intermediaries to convey his intentions. The nature of the proposal can vary greatly depending on cultural practices and personal preferences, but it generally marks the formal beginning of the engagement period. This stage is often characterized by celebratory events and further discussions about the future, leading up to the marriage. In Zulu culture, the Lobola, or bride price, is a deeply rooted tradition involving the payment made by the groom's family to the bride's family. Historically, this payment was made in cattle, reflecting the bride price's value and the groom's family's commitment. While cattle are still a traditional form of payment, modern practices have introduced cash and other forms of wealth as acceptable alternatives. This tradition signifies respect and honor for the bride's family and plays a crucial role in the marriage process. However, there has been a misconception about bride price. Most people think it's the price of buying the bride, which is totally wrong. Instead, it's a representation of respect for the bride and her parents. Since the groom is taking away the bride, who was loved by her family, the groom gives something he holds dear. And it's always wealth, because nothing is more dear for a single man than wealth. But he gives up his wealth and takes the bride, signifying that from now on, His wife is the most precious thing he has. The negotiation process for Lobola is a highly formal and respectful affair. It involves meetings between the families of the bride and groom, where elder members from both sides engage in discussions to agree on the appropriate amount of Lobola. These negotiations are conducted with great care and respect, ensuring that the process honors cultural traditions while addressing the practicalities of the payment. The agreed-upon amount, whether in cattle or its equivalent value, symbolizes the groom's commitment and the merging of families. In addition to the monetary or cattle payment, the exchange of gifts often takes place. These gifts are exchanged as a gesture of goodwill and to further strengthen the bond between the two families. The traditional delivery of cattle, if chosen as the form of Lobola, is a significant event. The cattle, typically 11 in number, are ceremoniously driven from the groom's homestead to the bride's family, symbolizing the fulfillment of the Lobola agreement and the formal recognition of the marriage. Before the wedding day, the Zulu culture celebrates a cherished tradition known as umembeso. During this event, the groom's family presents gifts to the bride's family as a mark of respect and gratitude. This ritual acknowledges the bride's family for their role in raising and preparing her for marriage. The gifts typically include practical items like clothes, blankets, food, and other household necessities. By offering these items, the groom shows his commitment to providing for his future wife and demonstrates his deep respect for her family. In turn, the groom brings groceries as a gift, signifying her role as the woman of the house. As the wedding approaches, the bride often enjoys a pre-wedding party similar to a bachelorette bash. This special event allows her to spend quality time with friends and family. It's a chance for her to receive heartfelt advice and blessings from loved ones, helping her prepare emotionally and spiritually for her upcoming marriage. The gathering is filled with support, shared wisdom, and warm wishes for a happy and successful married life. Before we continue further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black Africa. Let's continue now. Then comes the wedding day, which begins early with important activities centered around the bride's arrival and the preparations for the celebration. The bride, accompanied by her family, arrives at the groom's parents' homestead in the morning. She takes her place under a special tree, which holds cultural significance and marks the start of her integration into the groom's family. This traditional spot not only honors her arrival, but also plays a key role in the day's events. Food is a central element of Zulu wedding celebrations. On the wedding day, a few cows are slaughtered to provide meat for both families and all the guests. The preparation of this meat is a communal effort involving many family members, contributing to the festive atmosphere. Zulu weddings are open events, so formal invitations are not needed. This means that anyone from the community who wants to join in can do so, often resulting in a large gathering of over 200 guests. This open and inclusive nature reflects the community-focused and celebratory spirit of the event. A key part of the celebration is the preparation of Zulu beer, traditionally brewed from corn. This beer is enjoyed by many men who gather under trees to share the fresh brew. Brewing and drinking Zulu beer goes beyond just quenching thirst. It's a way to foster community spirit and celebrate togetherness. The beer symbolizes hospitality and is an essential part of the wedding festivities, enhancing the communal experience. A significant part of the wedding day involves an ancestral ceremony conducted by the older female members of the groom's family. They perform a ritual where some of the intestines from the slaughtered cows are buried in the kraal, the central area of the homestead where cattle are kept and important ancestors are interred. This ceremony is a spiritual act meant to appease the ancestors and seek their blessings for the marriage. It creates a link between the current celebration and the couple's ancestral heritage, ensuring that the ancestors are honored and their favor is sought for the couple's future together. By mid-morning, the Zulu wedding festivities are in full swing under the blazing sun, with temperatures often climbing above 35 degrees. The intense heat and bright sunlight set a dramatic scene for the lively activities taking place across the homestead. At this time, the groom's family steps out of the homestead to form a ceremonial welcome line in front of the gate. This traditional line honors the bride's arrival and officially marks the start of the wedding festivities. Only the eldest members of both families seek refuge under the shade of a nearby tree, recognizing their senior status and finding some relief from the sun's harsh rays. The ladies from the groom's family carry brooms, symbolically showing the bride that managing the homestead will be one of her future responsibilities. This gesture not only indicates the bride's role in her new household, but also demonstrates the support and guidance she will receive from her new family. As this unfolds, the bride and her bridesmaids prepare to move to a special field known as Esigkawini. They engage in lively singing and dancing, performing songs that request the groom's father to open the gates so they can enter. The groom and his groomsmen join in, their energetic participation reflecting their eagerness and excitement for the wedding. About an hour into the festivities, the bride's family approaches the homestead and lines up opposite the groom's family. This formation marks the official start of the wedding ceremony, with both families positioned for the central rituals. At the heart of the ceremony, a chest filled with the bride's personal belongings and wedding gifts is placed between the two families. This chest symbolizes the bride's transition from her family home to her new life with the groom. The atmosphere becomes even more vibrant with enthusiastic dancing on both sides. During this time, the groom presents the bride with a knife, a traditional gesture that signifies his desire for her to take on her new responsibilities in the marriage and to protect and care for their future family. This act underscores the groom's commitment and the shared responsibilities of married life. Older male members from both families then form lines close to the wedding official, usually an elderly gentleman, creating a space of reverence and authority. These lines highlight the seriousness of the occasion and ensure the ceremony proceeds with the respect and formality it deserves. The bride then approaches the wedding official, presenting him with a reed mat. At this point, the official asks her 3 questions: whether the Lobola has been fully paid, if she loves the groom, and if she wishes to marry him. Her affirmative answers to each question, each answered with a yes, officially complete the marriage ceremony. Throughout the event, the bride keeps her head bowed while walking and dancing. This posture ensures that her head remains lower than her future husband's and other male figures, reflecting a traditional gesture of respect. Except for rare instances, the couple avoids physical closeness or touching during the ceremony, adhering to cultural norms that emphasize respect and formality. As the wedding festivities continue, the spotlight shifts to the bride's official integration into the groom's family, a process marked by both symbolic gestures and celebratory rituals. After the lively Zulu dancing that starts the ceremony, the bride is ceremoniously escorted into the groom's homestead by her new sisters-in-law. This act is more than just a formal gesture. It marks her official entry into her new home and family. Her sisters-in-law guide her through this significant transition, helping her settle into her new role within the groom's family. Once inside the homestead, the bride heads to the kraal, the central area where cattle are kept and important family rituals take place. Here, she changes out of the heavy cowskin skirt she wore for the ceremony, opting instead for a more comfortable outfit. This change symbolizes her shift from the ceremonial aspect of the wedding to her new everyday life with the groom. The new attire allows her to join the women of the family in a more relaxed and celebratory manner, marking the start of her integration into their daily routines and social activities. From this moment on, the women of the groom's family come together to celebrate with the bride. This part of the festivities is filled with joy and camaraderie, showcasing the warm welcome she receives as she takes on her new role in the family. Adding a playful touch to the day's events, the groom is covered with blankets and pretends to be asleep. This humorous tradition adds a light-hearted element to the festivities. The bride's side of the family then engages in a mock beating of the groom, a fun ritual that symbolizes his readiness to take on his new responsibilities as a husband. He can no longer sleep as much as he wants. He has to take care of his wife now. This mock beating is a playful way to signify the groom's transition into married life and his acceptance of his new duties. After this, a collective dance follows where all the guests participate, bringing an end to the joyous wedding ceremony. Isn't it appreciable that the Zulu people have not given up their customs and traditions, despite adopting modernity in other walks of life? What do you think about the Zulu wedding and each step involved in it? In the comment section right below, share your thoughts on the misconception by a few people that these traditional weddings make these people backward. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We bring videos on Black Africa, its history, rich arts and culture, and things the world should know about. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.